Okay, we're now recording, so welcome. We're going to do a webinar for 2 hours, maybe a little bit under, on life purpose, on finding life purpose, tuning into life purpose, why you might want to do that, how you do that, I will go into shortly. Why don't we start just by grounding ourselves, taking a breath, no big deal, coming back to ourselves, maybe closing your eyes, even turning your camera off for a minute if you want. Maybe you've been running to get here. People normally crash into Zoom meetings last possible minute these days. So take a moment to yourself. How are you doing today? Tuning in. Just take a minute more in silence together. Noticing your breath, your body. Okay, hello. If you're willing, please turn your camera on. It's not mandatory, but it really helps me interact and connect with you and you with each other. So if you're willing, please turn your camera on. If you're totally zoomed out and you don't want to, if you're cooking or looking after children, that's fine. If I see you on the phone, I will throw you out though, because that's just fucking rude. So there are the rules. Ground rules, about 2 hours. We might take a mini break in the middle. I'm probably going to be pretty intense, like full throttle Walsh today. So this is a little bit of a warning. How resourced are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being like, yeah, bring on the world. I could wrestle an alligator. And 0 being like, oh my God, I should be in hospital. Yeah, or in the care of a psychiatrist. So how resourced are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Please put that in the chat. Type it in. This is going to be interactive. This isn't the Dancing Monkey show. You have to do some work. I'd say if anyone's a 5 or below, this might be something to watch the recording of later. Okay. So this is something that can take some energy, can take some work. If you're mentally not well, just physically not well, a bit below par, you maybe do it another day. Okay. That way I don't have to hold back, because for the people who are an 8, I want to give it my full oomph. All right. If you've not, who's not worked with me before, give us a wave. Welsh Virgins, give us a wave. Give us a wave. Keep waving. I'm going through 2 screens here. Okay, new people. What are the new old people? Who's a Welsh veteran? Done lots of stuff for me before. Some of you are familiar faces. There's a couple of EFC students here. Okay, couple of groupies. Annie Rude and Virginia. All right, nice to see you guys again. Always welcome. I think of this as a community as much as just an offering. Things people need to know. I swear, okay, if you have small children around, or you then put in headphones, then the children won't learn the words that I learned as a child from my Irish family. All right. I might make bad jokes. If you're politically correct or you believe in the concept of being offended, please fuck off now. Okay, I'm going to just say that right up front. If you believe in the concept of being offended, this isn't for you. Okay, don't go to a strip club and then complain there are breasts. Yeah, so it's like, this is a Walsh session. There may be jokes, there may be humor. All right, my people love it. You might not. I'm not for everyone. All right, like I'm drinking decaf. Who likes decaf? Some people do. Who hates decaf? Who's like, I would never drink decaf. I drink real coffee. It's like that. You have to know what's good for you. Like Nathan, great. So I'm not going to make Nathan coffee, but he might be good for my training. So where are you in the world? Please add that to your name. That would be good to know. And I want to find out a bit more about you guys. So can you put your passion, even if it's not your full-time job yet, your passion, the thing you most love, very simply in the chat as well. So just because I like to see where people are in the world, please add that to your name. So where you are in the name, and the passion, the thing you love in the chat, like leadership coaching. So Dennis, Luxembourg will be in your name. You do hit the 3 dots in the top right corner. You're not in France, are you, Fabian? You're in France? Hello. Okay, I'm looking to see what you guys, wildlife conservation, very cool. What do you do? Painting, singing, anything embodiment, great. Yoga, psychotherapy, Qigong, Virginia, nice to see you. Smack psychotherapist, that's Annie Rude. Cool, cool, cool. Keep them coming. It's just nice to see what you guys do. Then I can give you some examples that are relevant to your. I have slides like a professional. These are the happy slides. Watch the happy slides. They make you happy. We always watch the happy slides first, so as not to get too upset by anything. Housekeeping, blah, blah, blah. It's not confidential. It's recorded. Don't do anything you don't want to do. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, you know about Zoom. How are you? Who are you? This is what we are determining now. So this does help me to find out a little bit more about you. Engineer becoming yoga teacher. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool, cool, cool. Good. A lot of you haven't typed anything. Why not? Is it you don't know your passion? That's okay. Just put don't know in the chat. I would like everyone to interact. You get this isn't fucking television, right? On TV, you sit there and watch the dancing monkeys. This is a workshop where it's required interaction. See the difference? Yes. It's going to get worse, guys, if you're new. This is the beginning. I've got something in my eye, by the way, today. So if I look like I'm bloodshot, I haven't just smoked a big joint. Okay, aim for today. A little bit of introduction to life purpose, what it is, why it's important, and how to get closer to it. My main orientation to life purpose is it's something we can continuously refine and get closer to. However, you may be at different stages. So we're going to do another out of 10 in the chat. 1 would be, I have no idea what I'm doing. 10 would be, I'm doing amazing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm serving loads of people. I'm making lots of money. It's brilliant. I could be teaching this fucking workshop. I don't know why I'm here. Yeah. I'm probably a 9. A 9 would be like, I'm really quite clear. I'm making good money. It's my life. But you know what? There's always a little room for refinement. Because I get a little, the money or the honey kind of makes me go, this, like, I have to do that. And then I go, oh, I have to do that. That's a 9. Okay. So I'm pretty certain. 5 would be like, you know, I've got kind of some idea. I'm doing it some of the time, but I'm not that clear. Something like that. So let's see, where are you at? 1 would be, you have no idea at all. No idea whatsoever. So for example, if you were a 0 or 1, you wouldn't know if you should be an accountant or a stripper. You'd have no idea. Make sense? So some of you are at least a 2, I would say, that put 1 down. It's like people say, I have no idea what I want to do in my life. I'm like, do you want to be an accountant? They're like, hell no. I'm like, okay, then you have some idea. You know? 1.5, okay, someone's adjusted it. 4, 4, 4, 7, 7. Okay, great. Great. I help people across the full spectrum. Who here is under 30 or has never really thought about this until recently? So maybe you're 50, but you kind of fell into a medical career because your dad's did it. And then just last week you quit being a doctor. And now you're like, what do I do with my life? So here is under 30 or in that description. 1 or 2. Okay, my advice to you, get drunk with interesting people. Go traveling. Try lots of odd jobs. Do what I did when I was young, okay? Work at a ski resort. Work in a bar in Ireland. Work with kids on a beach. Just have an interesting life, all right? So that is my job. That is my, particularly sort of under 28, just do different shit, experiment, play, have fun, talk to lots of people, keep it as an open question. That is my advice if you are young, all right? So like people come to me, they're like 19 years old. They're like, what do I do in my life? I'm like, you go get laid, you go get drunk, and then you fucking come back to me when you're a grown up. You're 19, right? So it's like, there's my sort of starting point. Most of my students are either in that, they call it Saturn returns. Who's a big hippie? Come on, give me a wave. Who knows what Saturn returns is? That's like 27, 28. And this is when I had my life crisis. I was like, maybe I should stop being an alcoholic. Maybe I should do something with my life. You know, like this is the point where it gets serious because you realize that you're going to die. Young people don't really know they're going to die. They know it cognitively, but they don't have teeth that have fallen out and won't come back like I do. Yeah. It's like when you get 27, 28, you're like, hang on a minute, my choices actually matter because there's a permanency to them. Yeah. So it's like when you're like 19, you're like, oh, I picked the wrong course at university. Never mind, I'll do another course, you know? No big deal. So that's an interesting point. Another point it can happen is in middle age when people go, I've been doing the wrong career my whole life. Shit. And now you really know you're going to die. You've got wrinkles and so everything's gone south. You know, anyone in that position, give me a wave. You've been doing the wrong job and now you're like, oh my God, I'm halfway to dead. I'm halfway to dead and like, shit. Another one is like later on where you go, you know what, I'm in the right work. It feels good. But it's like, you know what, maybe it can be tweaked. Maybe I've already found the benefits of life purpose, but maybe I can tweak this a little bit more. Maybe I can refine this. Maybe I can choose my clients a bit better, change the work. It makes sense? Anyone in that position? Yeah, so all of these are fine with me, okay? Except for the young people, go get drunk, have a good time. Okay, good. What to say? Maximize your learning today. So, if you look on the screen, does everyone look like they're in the embodiment of a learner? Or does some people look like they're an embodiment of a knower, of a cynic, of a, I'm too tired to take any of this in, I should probably go have a bath and watch the recordings later? Okay, so I always ask people to be open-minded. This is a subject I've really thought about. I've helped a lot of people in the real world with this. Even if you know something about it, I can probably give you at least one nugget, even if I'm full of shit the rest of the time. Okay, you'll get more the more open you are. I make a lot of jokes, but be careful of humor which takes you away from connection. I'll come back to that. That's not vital for now. Benefits. Why would we want to be in touch with life purpose? Why don't I put you in breakout groups and you've got an opportunity to tell people, let's see, why does it matter to tune into life purpose, either a little bit or more if you're already halfway there? What is the consequence of that? Why is that important? Why would you spend 2 hours of your life that you won't get back being berated and shouted at by a weird British guy? Why would you do that? Okay, so this is a strange thing to be doing. Makes sense? Even though you're not paying for this, you are paying with your life. You are giving me the sands of time. You could be making love to your wife. You could be playing with your kids. You could be out in the park. You could be having a beer on the beach in Brighton. You could be doing many other things, but instead you're staring at a fucking computer screen at this bloke for 2 hours. Why is that important? Why do you want to learn about life purpose? That is the question. You've got a few minutes, like that many minutes. Off you go. If you're on your own, just wait. Don't panic. You staying here, Virginia? Stay with me, keep me company. Can if you want. No problem. Forgot to unpause the recording. People that just missed that, I forgot to, we just missed about 20 minutes. Bad luck. Should have come live. So people are doing a strengths exercise where they take their phone and they text as many people as they can from different areas of their life, friends, colleagues, you know, relationships, lovers, sisters, brothers, whatever. What am I good at? If your friends are British or Irish or Australian, you're probably going to get some sarcastic responses, you know? It's going to be like, you're really smart and you're really kind and you're good at being a wanker. Okay, that's their vulnerability issues at play. So advantages of purpose, just to recap for the people that missed that on the recording, talking about feeling good, doing good, okay? Benefits to relationships, benefits to the people you're around. I have more people in my life whose values I'm aligned with now. Not killing yourself quickly or slowly. That's a benefit. And if you're a business person, it's not surefire, but you're very likely to make way more money in the long run if you find purpose and passion and if you get good at marketing. That's the stipulation there. It's not enough simply to be good. You also need to learn to sell it. Another few exercises for strengths. What do even your enemies say you're good at? Yeah, even people who don't like you. people say, Mark's a total wanker and he's really out of order, but he's a good embodiment teacher. Get that all the time. Was there something that when you were very young, you started doing early? This can be another indicator. I was teaching people at a very young age. Is there something you've always found easy? You don't understand where everybody else is completely idiotic and can't do it? You can write these questions down because you could reflect on them for a long time. Is there something people ask your advice on a lot? Laura and Francesco in Bologna, I was going to be there, but then they changed the rules and now I have to go back to England to be long quarantined for 2 weeks. So my holiday in Italy got cancelled. Most upsetting. So no Italian holiday for me just yet.
It's a pity. Next time.
Next time. I want to come there and I want to eat Italian food and have a nice time. But it's the
for you.
I've got the itinerary already. I just need a week to do it. Great place for a holiday, Italy. Love it. Hardly any COVID right now, I think, as well. Okay, we're on the strengths exercise. Give me a wave. Turn your phones off. Okay, stop looking at all the texts, you self-interested people. Turn it off. Put it down. Put it away where you can't see it. Come back to it later. It's like a mini 360 feedback if you've heard of the corporate version. All right. Cool. Questions on strengths and finding what you're good at. Does anyone have a question about strengths before we move to passions? No questions at all. 35 of you here, no questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Cool.
A strength that may inhibit others could become also weakness, like a strength that can scare others or... Okay,
well, that's their problem, Virginia, first of all. That's their problem if they're scared. That's not your problem. So every strength is a weakness. Right? So if we were doing this exercise from a leadership point of view, we could look at every strength you've got that they tell you back, and then we flip it. Okay? So what you're going to do later is get all the feedback and group it. So for example, one of my strengths is I'm confident, yeah, or I'm brave, or I'm fierce. There's that's a group, okay? But that gets me in a lot of trouble. I can be really arrogant. Okay, it's not news to anyone here, I don't think, yeah? So like every strength is a weakness, okay? So yes, there's a cost to every strength. This is, and people try and cheat that, like, well, no, confidence and arrogance are not the same thing because here, shut the fuck up, okay? It's like if you've got one, you're going to have the other, yeah? So it's like there is a cost to every strength for sure. But you're not responsible for other people being scared. That's their problem.
Yeah, good to know. I think I have also those of confidence, and sometimes maybe I pass as arrogant.
Yeah, no, I was with someone the other day and they said, you're really arrogant. I said, well, what is it exactly that I did? Did I mistreat you in some way? Did I say something that was not cool? Did I not listen to you? And they couldn't put their finger on it. They just didn't like the energy, the embodiment I have. But that's their problem, right? You're always going to intimidate people if you've got that kind of strength. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so other people reacting to your strengths badly, you need to let go of that shit, okay? In terms of like holding yourself responsible for others, it's not your problem. Yeah, like people hold themselves back. I'm too much, or it's going to upset people. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. That's their problem. You got to live your life, right? I'm not saying the arsehole.
If I can add, then actually what happens is that I need to turn my behavior according to what they want. So then it becomes their power.
No. So be utterly disagreeable when it comes to life purpose. This is one of the who's nice here. Who needs to work with Erica, my student? She does courses for women who are too nice. Problem with nice people, they very rarely find life purpose because they're constantly adjusting to everyone else. They're constantly accommodating to other people's wants and needs, right? Which is really dishonest, actually. They're sort of chameleon, manipulative. Okay, nice people are the most manipulative. Yeah, it's like oh, be whatever you want to fit in. It's like, no, be this is why like cantankerous disagree. I'm like the bottom 1% on trait agreeableness when I do psychological tests. There's a whole trait called trait agreeableness. I'm the bottom 1%. People like me are way easier to find life purpose. Okay, way easier. Nice people have to worry about upsetting people, right? Even this weird sort of like slightly magical belief that you're responsible for other people's feelings. Let that shit go. Okay, do some work with Erica on this. If you're a nice woman, she does courses for women who are too nice. You're right to be.
Thank you, Mark.
Anything else on strengths before we move on? What do people ask you advice on? What do you find easy? What have you always been good at? Yeah. And in a way, strengths is connected to passion because usually they don't always go together, but often we get good at things we just love because we do them a lot, right? We practice, like I've done a lot of teaching. I enjoy it, like well over 10,000 hours. I enjoy teaching, so I got good at it. It'd be a bit strange if I wasn't reasonably good at it after the amount of hours I've done doing it. Okay. So this is, owning your strengths is important. Catherine?
About strengths, do you meaning like personality strengths, like things about you or stuff that you can do that you're good at kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay, great. So there's two levels of analysis if we go into a bit more detail. One, it would be like virtues, like personality strengths, like I'm confident, I'm creative, I'm kind, right? Another one would be specific skill sets like teaching. Yeah, I think you can look at both levels of analysis. The more fundamental, of course, is the personality strengths. Like, I'm never going to be a good counselor. I'm just not wired to be that sensitive or that good a listener. I'm just not wired that way. Yeah. So that's a more fundamental thing than the skill of counseling, which I could learn the actual skill set. Yeah, so both are worth considering. And when I deliberately was vague about this on the exercise, and people will come back to you with both. They'll come back to you with both. Yeah, they'll say you're kind and you're funny and you're awesome at cooking. See, cooking is skill set. Yeah, so you can extract one from the other. So if someone was creative and organized and good under pressure, they might make a good cook, right? Equally, if someone's a good cook, they're probably creative and organized and good under pressure. I'm just making this up. My friend Rob, who's a chef, tells me there's skills you need to be a good cook. Does that make sense? So you can extract one from the other in this exercise if you get loaded on one side. Yeah. If you're really good at being a cook, but you hate it, what are the skills that make you a good, the traits, that make you a good cook that you could apply elsewhere? So what's another job where you have to be creative, organized, and good under pressure, right? There's a whole bunch of jobs. Make sense? So you've already got the traits, you just need to learn the skills, that's the easy version. You can skill up in 3 years. Make sense? So we've got traits and skills. Thank you, Catherine, for helping me bring that out. Much appreciated. Good. Questions help. I like questions. Okay. Passion matters. I have a slide for that. Okay. This is my gentle, delicate slide for work from your fucking heart. Let's all get a little bit more heart involved. So a slight extension, please, in the chest, everyone. Okay. Imagine an alien is bursting out of your chest. It's going forwards and up in this direction. Yeah. So some of you are like, I want to connect with my passion. You're not going to fucking do it that way. Here, open up. Yeah. Open your jaw. Okay, be a bit more Italian, Brazilian now, guys. Say, Open your mouth, let your head roll, let your eyes roll. Open up your body. Come on, you look like dry vaginas, some of you. Open up, wide, big. Getting in touch through the body. Now tell me, what are you passionate about? Type it in the chat. Quick, go. Right now. A few more breaths here. Can tune in quietly as well as energetically. What are you passionate about? Some of you have included the service part, which is the third part, which is an extra win. Some of you have said art or spirituality, which is fine for the passion part. Yeah, but how does that help others is the service part. So now put those two things together. So it's like, yeah, you like art, but how do you help people with art, right? How do you help people with art? It's like, I like art. Okay, good for you. No one gives a shit. How do you serve people? How do you benefit people with art? Yeah? Like, you like spirituality. Okay, but how do you help people with that? So put those two things together. Go, 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 go. You know what you love. You know your life purpose. It's not like, oh, I have to work it out. Like, you know, you fucking it. You know it's what turns you on. It's what breaks your heart. You're walking down the street. This is what breaks your heart. It's what, like, oh my God, that I cannot handle the world not having that change in it. Nelson Mandela, apartheid. I can't handle this being okay. There were other people who were like, well, this sucks, and just got on with their life. But he was like, fuck this. Yeah. So it's what annoys you. It's what makes you cry. It's what gets you up in the morning. It's what you go, you know what? I've got no energy for anything except that. Right? I'm kind of tired today. I've had a long week. I've been working hard. I did a 4-day fast this week. I just started eating today, actually yesterday. And it's like, I've still got energy to teach embodiment, still got energy to teach passion and purpose, right? It's like, what gives you the energy? What annoys the shit out of you? Sometimes it's not logical. Like I've been working with gay community in Russia for years. I'm doing it again on Sunday. I don't know why I feel passionate about that. I'm not gay. I don't know why I do. I just fucking do. Okay, so I'm going to keep going there and keep helping people for as long as that is there. Why do I not want to work with environmental activists in Russia? It's not logical. I don't know. There's probably some, very worthwhile environmental work being done in Russia. I just don't care. Okay, I'm just being honest. It's like, be honest about what you don't give a shit about. Make sense? I still might vote, and I still might, okay, I'll sign the petition for the green thing, but I don't really care. Yeah? Make sense? It's like, be honest about what breaks your heart, what pisses you off. It's all emotion. It's like any strong, it's the thing that everybody else goes, calm down. Like, bad yoga upsets me to the point where I want to stuff the fucking crystal down the neck of the stupid bullshit Instagram yogi. I want to throttle the silly girl with the crystal. It's like, that's how much it annoys me. Yeah, I'm not a violent person. I would never do that. No crystals were hurt in the making of this fantasy, okay? But it annoys me that much. Because for me, Ola's got one. Ola! I didn't know you and love you. I got one in my house, okay? Everyone's allowed one crystal. There's a limit, So it's like, there's this thing that annoys me so much when I hear yoga being really badly taught by new age wankers. It's not just that I don't like it. It's that I want to fucking kill them, right? So it's like, as someone who generally isn't violent, that's a bit worth noticing. Does it make sense? Maybe what you notice is jealousy. Get really jealous of someone who's in the space you want to work in and they're doing really well. And why can't I be a tantra teacher like them? You need to recycle that resentment into your own work. Okay? Resentment is absolutely toxic because it comes from entitlement. Yeah? Certain groups are more entitled than others. Okay, get rid of the world does not owe you a living. You're like, but I get this because I run the Embodiment Conference. I get these resentful wankers that are always like, well, I should be in charge of this. And who are you? And I'm like, I'm the one who did it, bitch. I'm the one who did it. That's why I get to be in charge of the Embodiment Conference. You could have done it. It was all there. I didn't have some, £1 million from my dad or some shit. Right? It's just, I did it. So if you feel resentment for other people in your space, you need to recycle that shit into your own work. Does that make sense? Sometimes it's heartbreak. Sometimes it's like I'm shouting and stuff, right? Because that's my style. That's my way of teaching. But sometimes it's just like you walk past the homeless guy and it just breaks your heart. And you're like, I wish there was something I could do more than give you £1. Go work with homeless people, right? And your friend is sad too, but you're really sad. You're thinking about it all night. It ruins your dinner. I can walk by a homeless guy, feel sad, give him £1 to go have a curry with my wife, forget about it, right? I don't not care. I'd rather there was no homelessness. I think it's a fucking disgrace that there is homelessness in 2020, to be honest. I think it's a disgrace, but it doesn't ruin my evening. Does that make sense? I'm being real honest now because we're supposed to care about everything. And this is a great relief. You can't care about everything. You can't. It's one thing I didn't like about some of the protest movements that come out. They're expecting everyone to be passionate about the same thing. You can't. There's too much bad shit in the world that needs changing. You got to choose your battles. Okay. My life is about helping the world become more embodied. That's my life. Okay. I'm glad other people are working with racism. I'm glad other people are working with environmental issues. My part of the picture is what I stay focused on. There's a humility in life purpose, actually. There's a humility in saying, this is my battle that I choose. This is what I choose to die for. I mean, you're dying one moment at a time right now, right? That's literally, you know, your heart is one beat closer to your death every beat. So what's that for? It's either for nothing or it's for something you choose. Yeah, or it's for someone else's agenda if you just get pushed around because you're nice. Okay, cool. How you guys doing? Let's hear from a couple of people. Been on a bit of a rant there, so I can feel like I want to check in with you guys, make sure I haven't brutalized you with 4 throbbing inches of pure Welsh spirit. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
I liked what you said about the jealousy thing. It's kind of interesting as well because it's sort of a way of showing you what you actually want to do yourself. If you're not clear and you have that emotion, then it's like your body's told you what you want to do, isn't it? So I like that.
All these strong emotions, whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, resentment, jealousy, they're all these they're all wake-up calls. Emotion is like caring. That's what emotion is, right? Of different kinds. Like, I care that I don't want this, that's anger. I care that I do want this, that's passion, right? They're all just caring. Yeah, so if you're tuned into that, that's a radar for you. Yeah, the resentment's a more subtle one. The others are maybe more obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Anyone else? Key insights worth saying out loud, reviewing it? All right, let's do some death meditation. So this is probably the more intense part of the workshop. If you've had a recent bereavement, you might want to take an extended 10-minute toilet break. There will be a little toilet break after this anyway. If you just feel a bit vulnerable, you're not in the right place, you know, life's a bit hard for you, you've lost loved ones, you're in a dangerous place because of COVID, then give it a miss. You can always find my video on death meditation later, okay? So make a choice to stay or to go. Be fully in or fully out. And I really respect the decision if you want to give this a miss. Just come back at, let's say, 5 past. Okay? So if you want to duck out now. If you're a maybe, that's a no. My mum taught me that about dating. If she says maybe, treat it as a no. It's a good rule to live by. Okay, for the rest of you, I invite you to turn your camera off. So stop video. So you can go a little bit more internal. And move away from anyone if you're in the room with someone. Turn your phones off. Denise, you're looking on your phone for? Turn your phone off. I want your full attention on none of it. Okay, close your eyes, close your eyes. And put your hand on your heart. And notice your heartbeat. And each beat is one beat that you have less. Each beat is one beat closer to the grave. Your breathing, which you can feel now, very likely you can notice your breathing. That will stop one day. When that stops, within a few minutes, your brain will be dead. Whether this is caused by a heart attack or cancer or drowning or whatever it is, breathing stops, your brain dies. Who knows what happens after that? Maybe nothing, maybe something, but in the form you're in now, you will die. The warmth you can feel will fade from your body. Your heart will stop beating not long after your breathing stops. Gradually, your body will cool. The respiration in the cells will end. The heat generation of respiration will cease. You will become cold. You're aware of my voice. Your consciousness will either fade or be transformed. You won't be aware of what's going on around you in the same way, for sure. Maybe you can feel the fluidity of your body. Gradually, that will dry up. Even the solidity of your body will disintegrate. First, the eyes, the organs will be eaten or burnt. Then the skin, the muscles, eventually even the bones will be ground down. If you dig up a skeleton after a few hundred years, there's no skeleton. It's a bit more calcium in the soil, but that's about it. So even the bones fade. The breathing stops, the heart stops, the warmth fades. You dry up, you disintegrate. Your possessions are sold or given away. Everyone you love will eventually die too. So all the people who have known you, who know your name, will die. People you like, people you don't like, people you're close to, people you're not close to, famous, rich, whatever. They will die. This is the only thing I'm saying today with any certainty. The rest might just be me, full of shit, mouthing off, but you will die. How would it be in your body right now if you really knew that one day you would die? Like, knew it on an embodied level, not just cognitively. Given that you will die, what matters to you? What is your undone work? The work that you have not done in the world that you want to do before you die? What is the change you wish to contribute to in the world, whether you're successful or not? It's the battle you want to fight. It's the work you want to do. It's the art you want to make. What is that? In the face of death, what still matters? What do you want to do before you die? Please turn your cameras on. Notice you can still move. You are still breathing. Your heart is still beating. Your warmth is still there. You are, I hope, all still alive. So let's check. Everyone's still breathing? Give me a big breath, like a full life breath. Ah, that's it, Moira. Have a stretch, make a noise, Claire. Have a wriggle, Bethan. Come back to life fully, not just halfway back to life, not like English back to life, like Brazilian back to life. Ah, look on the screen. You've still got other human beings. Give me a thumbs up if you're basically okay. It's okay if you're a little bit upset or a little bit sad or a little bit troubled, but you're going to be okay. If you're not, hang around in the break. Okay, I want to hear from you. Anything, but we got 5 minutes before our break. So anything you want to say before we take a little break? How was that? Sometimes people get in touch with gratitude. Who was it their first death meditation? First one, give me a wave. Oh, okay. Well worth doing again. The first one's often a bit scary. Second and third one, you get closer to gratitude, purpose, and also love. It's often like, wow, I really want to, like, I've been in a few war zones, and when I saw my wife afterwards, it was like, I held her a little closer, it was a little sweeter to know that one day she and I would die. War zone meditation is the extreme version of this, but can't take you all to Afghanistan today. Anyone get a little bit tuned in to something like, this is what I want to do? Give me a wave. Sometimes it's mysterious. Sometimes it's like an image, or it's a feeling, or it's a word. I don't really know what that means, but that's my comment. That was a brief one as well, because we're working online, and normally when I teach this on my face-to-face courses, we go to graveyards and I have you visualize maggots eating your eyes, and we go really hardcore, but I wanted to keep it kind of fairly light today. Always lighter online, just from a sort of safety point of view. Anyone else? I'd love to hear from one or two people. How you doing? Maybe someone who hasn't spoken yet. Siga or Nathan or Vanessa.
Yeah, I'm happy to speak. It was I felt quite good actually, but what came really strongly was what you kept saying. I felt a bit of like, God, enough this shit, just stop playing small, just fucking do it, get on with it, basically.
Yes.
So really a huge sense of service came through.
Yes.
Yeah, which felt good, feels good.
Yeah, it's like, get on with it. And
yeah,
it helps you put your own bullshit aside. Like, who am I to follow that purpose? What do people think of me? And why do they shut the fuck up? Get on with it. Like, orientating to service is the best way to get over nervousness, which is a form of narcissism. Orientating to service, what you're doing to help others. Yeah? Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. It's something you can come back to. You can do this by walking through a graveyard. You can do it with a meditation. It's a traditional Tibetan Buddhist type thing to do. There's several things that happen when people do this. It can be disturbing. So if you're a little bit shaken up, make sure in the break you look after yourself. Anyone else? Let's hear from one more person.
Yep. Yeah, I felt that creeping in. Wout told me about the denial of death, which I was like, yeah, I can see it's there. But now I really felt like, ugh, this body is ending one day. And wow, you made us connect to our heart, and then you made me think of it ending. Like, it really made me get creative with my mind to see what is it I want to do. So thank you for that. Have some clarity.
You're welcome. I like to be a son of a bitch in service. This is part of how I'm in service. So it's sometimes this is like tough love, It's like slapping someone, like, come on, wake up, you're gonna die, you get it, There's a great scene in Fight Club where he puts a gun to someone's head. What did you want to do before you die? It's like there's something in that, and there's different ways to do it. We can meditate on it. We can go through the body. We can walk through the graveyard. We can be buried up to our neck. There's different ways to do it, but it's not a joke, Nathan. It's not a joke in terms of like not fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
yep.
It's like, what is the thing that if you were to die before it had been done would be a little tragedy? Maybe you're not Nelson Mandela, right? But there's a little tragedy there. There's a little tragedy. And someone who doesn't have a child that, that was their purpose, and someone who doesn't start that business, and someone who doesn't, even like, forget end hunger in Africa, end homelessness in Brighton, right? It's like, that's a tragedy. It's like we don't take ourselves seriously enough. It's like we take ourselves too seriously, but we don't take what we're doing or not doing seriously enough. There's this way in which we say, you know what, my contribution wouldn't be a big deal. Yeah. So how the fuck do you know? And who are you to make that assessment? It's like the person you could be if you cut out that bullshit. If you got on with the work that you were destined, if you want to do that. Or even just European model, destined is one. Another one is just choose. Different frames on this. 3 frames I'll give you before the break. Manifest destiny model tends to be sort of Christian orientated, very American. Okay, there's a way in which it feels like I was designed to teach embodiment. That is what I'm here for. There's truth to that way of orientating. Second model, humanist existential model. I choose to make life meaningful by doing this as a choice. As a choice. In some ways, it's like marriage. It's like you fall in love, you find the right person, but you choose it. Yeah. Okay. Third one, Taoist model, tuning into the deeper flow of your life. Okay, that is there. All of those models have something to offer, actually. Cool. Let's take a break. 4 minutes until 10 past. So a quick water in, water out. Move, stretch. Don't look at your phones, you buggers. Okay, we're not quite there yet. See you in 4 minutes. Okay, I think it's 4 minutes. Okay, just do a little check-in with yourself. How are you doing, like energy-wise, resource-wise? Are you still doing okay? Have you gone below a 5? You might have had enough, Mark, for now. I'm kind of like whiskey, not beer, you know, sometimes one shot's enough. So just checking in, you're still doing okay, you still got the energy for this. Look after yourselves. Yeah, some people are putting some numbers in. Claire's an 8 still. Okay, what questions do you have so far? Let's hear a few questions. Come on, I just sold a coaching package for £950 per hour of coaching. So this is a chance to get it for nothing.
Okay, I've got a question.
Go.
I wonder if my like virtues and skill sets aren't always aligned, maybe. Because I'm a bit of a like people person. I like chatting to people and just being sociable and stuff. But then a lot of the things that I like doing, well, that I like painting, for instance, is really solitary thing, and sometimes that is a bit jarring. But singing, not so much. It's more sociable. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not a masochist, right? You're not deliberately choosing hobbies that you don't like.
Well, I also question that. I questioned that for years because I'm like a people pleaser, and I think I've never like tried to be good at like drawing or painting. It's just been a really natural thing that I've been able to do, and I think it could be quite addictive, like making something that then someone looks at and they're like, "Whoa, that's really good!" And I think that
get a bit of external, get a reward. Yeah.
But I do enjoy it as well. But I don't know. I think I have ADHD as well, so I'm a bit all over the shop with like trying.
Yeah, it's okay to be all over the shop. I mean, part of life purpose is actually, this is the existential one, is you just choose one of the things. It's important to be something that's self-rewarding, okay? So it's like, what would you still do even if no one else saw it? Would there be something you could do? Like, I love teaching so much. When I'm on holiday, I start like teaching the waiters and stuff, like much, you know, like my wife's like, after 2 weeks of not teaching, I start teaching my wife when we're having dinner, and she gets annoyed and makes me go teach a workshop. It's like, I just can't help it, all right? It's like, it just is there. So it's, you know, what would you do secretly even if no one gave you strokes for it? You know what I mean? It's like, would you still be making the art or not? I don't know. Yeah. So it's for those of you who like strokes, it's important to take that out of the equation. The other thing is, what's just distraction? So a really nice exercise of finding life purpose is take all entertainment out of your life for a week. Okay. So, you know, no entertaining movies, no entertaining music, no entertaining conversations, even just all entertainment out for a week. Yeah. And then you're actually not distracted from the brutal reality of what I really want to do. Okay, good. Thank you, Catherine. Someone else. Come on, be bold, be brave. Catherine's spoken twice. I wasn't mean to her once, even. My granddad's from Shrewsbury. I went there many times.
I've got a question.
Yes. Who are you? Where are you?
Over here.
Yeah, Virginia. Yeah.
So you know how you said what makes us cry? I cry about, it's not a nationalistic thing. I love ancient Greek culture.
Okay.
And the philosophers and the gods and the myths, and I literally cry about those. That can make me cry in no time. But how the fuck can that be of service to people?
Well, the crying part's about passion. It's not about service. So you're looking where these things
come together. But, you know, I love it, but, you know, it's a civilization. It's out there.
Well, I think loving the birthplace of Western civilization and the values that are the magnificence of the West, that's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And there may be something in that that's like something to bring forward. You know, what is it in those values which is worth bringing forward? And so many people right now are ashamed of Western civilization because we're not all perfect, right? Japanese people aren't. Japanese people love Japanese civilization, Japanese culture. They don't have any shame in it. Right? And they have a beautiful culture too. There's many beautiful cultures. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being drawn to the magnificence of Greece. I mean, that's profound. And like, how does that inform things you want to do? Don't be ashamed of that. The Greeks are amazing. So it's this profundity in the values of the ancient Greeks. You know, maybe it's something about the resonance of them. Maybe it's not that you're going to teach Greek history or something, right? Could be. Yeah. We're symbolic creatures.
I have a question.
Now, what's the problem? I don't get why there's a problem to be drawn to the ancient Greeks.
She was saying, how can it be of service to someone, though?
Sure, that's a different piece. Thank you, Gavin. It's a different piece. So one is, what do you care about? And the other one is, how do you make that of service? So you're looking for the crossover of those things. Yeah. So how can you be of service with the values of the ancient Greeks? I don't know. Like, there's loads in that, right? What's something you love about the ancient Greeks, Virginia? Give me one thing.
Well, first of all, I think they were heavy on embodiment. I mean, apart from the agora, they spent all of their day in the gym. Like, the body
Okay, so
was important.
That's something you can be of service to, right? I would love to see Western civilization regain the sense of what the original gymnasium was. Not just a place to build your muscles, right? The original Olympics, original gymnasiums, I would love if that came back into Western civilization. We need that.
And like stuff like, I was reading Herodotus the other day, and he was describing active listening to a T. Like, it was the best. He was giving instructions like, don't give advice, let the other person finish, give them your full attention. I was like, fucking hell, they call it active listening these days. It's a manual right in here.
Virginia, let me say, I was literally just thinking last night on my long evening walk that what Western civilization really needs is to reclaim its own profound spiritual roots. Like, people in Japan don't worry about that. There's people in Persia, they look back on Persian culture, you know, in Iran today, and say, we have this magnificent culture, we had these philosophers, and we have these poets, and that informs who we are as a people today. We rest upon that. There's this weird self-hatred that's infected the West, and it's no fucking good. You know, for me, I can see personally, this is my agenda, maybe not yours, I can see a profound service in bringing forwards the beauty that we rest upon on the West. Like, rather than just constantly thinking about colonialism or this or that, or, you know, some of the fucked up things. Like, I can see a profound service in that. Good. Next up. So you are a human sacrifice. What are you being sacrificed to? That is the only real question here. You are being burnt on the pyre of your own life. It might as well be to a good God. It might as well be for a reason. That is the kind of fundamental message here, you know? Your purpose can be your job. The benefits of that, of course, is you get to spend lots of time doing it. You get to help more people. You get to be good at it. Having a purpose is a hobby. My aikido teacher for many years, that was his hobby, to do aikido. He was a butcher in the rest of life, which he never really loved. I think there is a profound cost of not doing what you love for a living, though it is a valid path for some people. So I want to bring that in. There is sacrifice here. Okay, so part of purpose is sacrificing some of the many, many things we'd like to do. Yeah. So like the amount I sacrificed to, I don't know, write this book. Okay, it was months of my life that I could have spent doing something else. The amount I'm sacrificing to do the Embodiment Conference is huge. It's huge. You know, my emotional well-being at times, frankly. Yeah. You think I'm going to see you think I'm going to see my fucking mum in October? I don't think I am. You think I'm going to have any energy to fuck my wife in October? Almost certainly not. Right? Like, these are people I care about. But there's no way that's happening during the conference. So it's like, what makes that sacrifice worthwhile? That's what life purpose is. It isn't, how do I find the solution that will mean I have an easy life? It's the opposite. You're going to have a harder life. Yeah? More meaningful, but likely harder. Right? So this isn't the art of comfort that we're working with here. Nature is your friend. Okay? I'm a big hippie at heart. Don't let anyone tell you differently. When I lose track of my life purpose, I walk along Brighton seafront and it speaks to me. Not literally, I'm not a schizophrenic, but I let go of all the bullshit and Brighton seafront washes away the nonsense and I'm left with life purpose. For you, it might be the woods. I definitely have spent a good amount of time wandering around the deserts of Israel and the Negev. That will help you find life purpose. Careful you don't die if you do that one. Nature is your friend when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. Your friends may or may not be your friends when it comes to life purpose. If they're distracting friends, if they're fun friends. Anyone use nature to tune into life purpose? Profound, very profound. Nature's your coach for sure.
Mark, can I ask a question on this? It's Siga.
Yes, please, Siga.
I absolutely love being outdoors. I get a buzz. I get a buzz from more adventurous stuff, but I noticed if I do something more calming, I don't know, maybe I almost numb myself. I don't think about anything. And I'm like, inspiration isn't necessarily coming. I'm kind of searching for it, but it's almost doing the opposite. Maybe it's not doing the opposite. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm guessing you have the answer to your own question here. What's the answer to your own question?
Maybe I'm just looking too hard, right? I don't know. Am I that dumb? Like really, yeah. Okay, give me a second to. I mean, I feel good, but there's not much in it. Maybe there shouldn't be anything in it.
What do you know? You fucking know. What do you know?
It feels good to be in nature.
You've lost me. Tell me the key learning here, because you knew it already before you started talking.
Oh, that I should just keep to adventures, right?
I don't know. Don't ask me for approval. I know you will.
I know.
What's your insight? Tell me it, Claire.
I don't have an insight.
You do.
I'm struggling right now.
You fucking know. You fucking know. Yes, you're on the spot. Your life is ticking away. You need to take responsibility for your own life purpose. What is it?
It is do the stuff that's exhilarating and gives me a buzz, really.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Mostly this is just about being honest with yourself, this process, right? Yes, a coach can help. Yes, we all have issues, right? We all have stuff like our inner critic and who's a perfectionist? That'll fuck you up. Start seeing your perfectionism as a form of self-abuse, because that's all it is. It's self-harming by other means. That's all perfectionism is. Okay. It's also a massive barrier, because part of life purpose, we're not like, I didn't come out of the womb doing the Embodiment Conference, right? There was so many iterations of embodiment things first. You have to get good at doing experiments and just do it crap and try again and make it better and, do it in a different way. Perfectionism is really not helping you here. Who's got a strong inner critic? Yeah, it's human. It's human. You're not special. Look how many hands are up. Okay, everybody has one. Deal with it. Get on with it. And yeah, there's things I can give you around that, and it's like blah blah blah. Orientate to service. You have that voice in your head saying, "Who are you?" And it's like, look at the change that needs doing in the world. Yeah, and you can still have that voice saying you're a piece of shit in your head. I have it from time to time, and I think I have it less than most people. Okay, moments of insecurity and doubt. It's like, that's what it means to be human. You're expecting that to go away before you start being of service. You're expecting to be enlightened then, right? Like the world hasn't got long enough for that, mate. Okay, people are like, well, I'll do my thing in the world, but I just need to work on my stuff first. No. Start doing your stuff in the world. I mean, assuming you're basically not like hurting anyone or doing anything out of integrity, right? Do your stuff in the world. Makes sense? Make that the path. This kind of weird I have to sort everything out first and not have an inner critic and not be a perfectionist. Get on with it. Make it play, right? Like, I mean, I know I'm kind of aggressive today. I'm in that kind of mood, but like, do you see what I'm doing stuff? It's play. It's not like, oh my God, I have to do my life purpose. I'm just playing. Like, what's most play for you? Even when it's rough, like if I'm teaching soldiers around trauma, I mean, that's pretty harrowing in some ways, right? But it's still play. Still play. I have the best trauma jokes. The best. did anyone hear the podcast episode with Paul Linden and Shinzen Young talking about the Holocaust? Oh, that was some humor. Trigger warning, even for me. Self-kindness around this, okay? So finding life purpose is a form of self-kindness in itself, but also it's like be kind to yourself in the journey. Don't expect yourself to know it straight away. It can take some years. It can take some years. Here's the other thing as well. Beating yourself up will not get you closer to it, right? Like, I'm such a bad person. It's awful. I can't. Shut up. That doesn't help. The Buddha said, if hate worked, I would teach you hate. Doesn't work. So really powerful. That's a real Buddha quote as well, not one of the made up ones. That's a powerful one. Trauma can get in the way. If you haven't done your trauma healing, it's worth doing your trauma healing. It's difficult to tune into the subtle sense of life purpose if you're just constantly scared of everything. It's very difficult to fulfill a life purpose if you're defensive or aggressive the whole time. It's like you need to have got rid of that layer of fight or flight so you can tune into the slightly deeper layer. Yeah. One thing we won't do today that's worth doing is really asking your body the question of like, what is my purpose? And like being with the body for an hour on that, an hour of deep body meditation. So another alternative to the death meditation, the life meditation. Like, what is my heart beating for? Yeah. Hola.
I have a question. It's been
Please.
bubbling up in me for a while. Because kind of linked into that, because I love all this embodiment stuff and all the workshops you do, but then I find that there's always kind of something, not always, but if I, for example, want to do it with someone, and I kind of always feel like there's always something deeper, and in some level aren't most people in that kind of fight and flight, and that don't we all just need therapy first? And so don't know what my question here is, but yeah, it just seems like there's always something deeper.
What's the question?
What's the question?
Take a breath. Put your hands on your womb, if you wouldn't mind, if it feels okay. You can refuse, of course, I won't mind. What's the deeper question?
How do we get people unfucked? But I guess in a way you say things like, oh, you're inner critic, just shut up, whatever. But if for someone it's like something more deeper than that, then how do you deal with that, And then that person, I don't know what I'm trying to explain. Do you get a sense?
No idea what you're talking about. What wants to be birthed here?
I guess for doing things that you're doing, which
Me or you? Sorry, I'm confused. You're talking about yourself?
No. The embodiment exercises and workshops that you do.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. For some people, it's just the issue is deeper.
There's nothing deeper than the body. Well, I don't want to talk about my methods. Let's talk about you. So, what are you for? What's the point in you? What's the point in you?
The point in me? What do you mean?
What are you for? What are you here on this planet for?
To help people, I guess.
Okay, which people to do what? Which people? First thought, best thought. I'm not going to hold you to this, just for today. It's just for today. Which people?
Broken people, maybe.
Okay, broken people. To do what?
To heal themselves.
Okay. So healing broken people is as good a life purpose as I ever heard. That's
But I
today's.
guess I like the way you work and the way you do it, and like keeping fun and light and everything, and that kind
That's
of
my
stuff.
style. So what we do, who we do it with, where we do it is interesting, like outside, for example. How we do it is also important. That's our style. So I have a particular flavor of doing embodiment coaching. It's a mixture of sort of humor, provocation, aggression. It's a particular flavor, right? Your flavor is going to be totally different than mine, right? And Ola flavored coaching is going to be different, even if we're both embodiment coaches.
Okay.
I personally don't have the frame of healing or broken people. I have my frame is awareness and choice. That's my frame. It's about freedom. It's about learning. It's not about healing. But it's like it's a different frame. It's okay.
Okay. So and my question is, if I have someone and I want to help them, and I like the way you do it, so
I like your passion now, by the way. Like it a lot. This is good. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. So I would approach it in that way, and I find it's great. But then I feel like, you know, the issue is a bit deeper, but I don't want to be a therapist. So that's the problem.
So you want to do something deep, but not be a therapist?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds like you're one step closer to life purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so remember, this is just steps, right? It's like every day a step closer. So you're tuning, you know, I want to do something deep. I don't want to be a therapist. It's like, okay, to do something deep, it's not therapy. Cool. Yeah, and that passion you had there, did everyone see that in Ola's body? It was really nice, wasn't it? Everyone see it? She kind of like lit up. Like that's the kind of thing you want to notice. Yeah. It's like, okay, now you're heading in a good direction. Yeah. And I definitely see purpose as a direction, not a destination, right? It's not like, now I am it, my purpose. Some people, it's like, I'm a vet. It's really clear. Yeah, most people, it's not like that. Good. Good
Mark.
musings. Hello.
Can I give a shot here at my Ikigai?
What, sorry?
Can I go for a shot here at my Ikigai? You know, the thing you showed before, the Japanese thing?
What do you mean a shot at it? Are you wanting to teach or learn now?
I want to learn, but I want to try filling in what I'm good at and the strength.
Oh, for you. Cool. Yeah. If it's about you, absolutely. No problem, man. Come
on. Yeah, so the strengths question, I've done it before. And what I gotten from results before was that I'm good at feeling into people and feeling in what's true for them and not. So really uncovering truth, basically. And I love deep transformational spaces. Now, the only two I'm kind of looking for is like, okay, so what does the world need and what can I be paid for? Or basically, how do I form it into something sellable, you know, something that I can really leverage the strength that I have to feel into people.
Great. So we have the strength. What about the passion side? Sorry, I didn't hear that. What's the passion side?
Yeah, deep transformational spaces. Yeah.
You didn't sound very passionate when you say it. Maybe that's just a Belgian thing. I don't know. It doesn't have much ketchup and mayonnaise on these fries. What are you really passionate about?
Oh, I can go for a whole list of things I've been trying a lot.
Passion's not a list. Passion's not a list.
Yeah, men's work, embodiment, healthy food.
If you had to speak for one to everyone here for the next hour and everyone was going to listen, which one would it be? If I was like, dude, you got stage, next hour, go. I'm going to go sleep with my wife. Enjoy.
Yeah, probably self-actualization or self-development / awareness work.
Okay.
Embodied awareness, kind of.
Kind of or definitely? What would it be? I'm tempted to do this. I'm tempted to just go take a break and leave you to it. So what would it be?
Self-actualization. Yeah, helping people progress and transform and upgrade.
Okay, helping people upgrade, helping people progress. Got it. Through this like sensitive skill you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and what do you see is like, where is it in the world that kind of, it may be related to your own story of pain and transformation. It may just be something that like in the world breaks your heart. Where might that be useful?
What really breaks my heart is seeing really unconscious people like smoking, eating unhealthy, sitting behind the computer, gaming, just zero consciousness, you know, just like withering away.
Okay, so people withering away doing stupid shit.
Because I used to be like that like 5 years ago.
That's a big market. That's a big market. There's a lot of people doing that. And you used to be like that. You remember what it's like to be like masturbating to porn, playing shit computer games.
Yeah.
Right? You remember what that's like?
For sure.
Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah, and you know, we're not judging anyone. They don't know any better, or they haven't been offered anything else. The school system didn't teach them anything else. Maybe they're traumatized. That's how they get through the day, right? There's reasons people do shit. But that, you know, you can teach from that. You can, like, I've been that guy. So tell me tell me a bit more about this. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah. I spend like at least 15 to 18 or let's say maybe 20 years just behind the computer, you know, barely in social interactions and gaming and only knowing this virtual world. And then I started stepping out and, you know, learning how to talk to women, and then it got into, okay, but what's my purpose? Actually, very much like you, very hedonistic, like a few years of nonstop just chasing women and learning how to seduce and talk to them. And like
Buddha too. We're in good company. And St. Augustine. All the really spiritual people were womanizers, or possibly whatever the female equivalent that would be first. Okay.
And then I was like, what am I trying to fill here? It's just a warm hole I'm trying to fill. There's no connection. And like, then it's like, okay, but what's my purpose? You know? And yeah,
who likes listening to him tell this story? It's kind of interesting, right? This is kind of compelling. Like, one of the other signs you know someone's on purpose is that you want to hear their TED talk, right? So this story, I really like this story. It's like, I was this sad guy behind a computer, just playing computer games. I was kind of a loser. I couldn't talk to anyone. And then I learned some stuff, and I learned to talk to girls, and that was great, and it was fun. I got laid, but I realized that wasn't really all there was to life. Okay. And now what I'm interested in this. Because people know that. Those guys that are sitting there with the porn and the computer games, they know that that's not a good life. They feel it in their bones. But they're scared, right? They're scared. They're not being... Also, they feel judged, I think. I think those guys feel really judged. You know who the world's got no sympathy for? Male losers. No sympathy. But someone that says, hey, I really get that, and I understand you, and I don't judge you, and I'm sensitive to your needs, and I can offer you something else.
Right, but how you market them? Because you cannot call them nerds.
That's another question. Tell me what you fucking love and you want to do, and then you come to my I've got another webinar on that. It's another webinar. It's a good webinar. Who's been to my marketing webinar? That's another 2-hour webinar. I'm not doing another 2-hour webinar with you in 5 minutes. Right? If you're something you love that you're good at, and honestly that lit you up, you were telling this story and it was compelling, and I was like, oh my God, I got a cousin a bit like that. I want you to fucking help him. You know, he doesn't listen to me. Yeah. Like, I'm like, yeah, then we can sell that shit. Like, think how much money people spend on porn and computer games, right? Like, if you had like 10% of that market, you'd be a millionaire. And boy, I would rather you had that fucking those millions and those computer game companies and the porn companies, right? Right. If you could fucking steal 10% of that market, who would like him to steal 10% of that market? Just give me a hands up. Give me a wave. Everyone here. Who would like him to take the money people are spending on porn and crap computer games and help like young men fucking transform their shit? We want you to be rich, okay? Cool. Good. Shut up. Go work. Go away now. Go work now.
That's Mark.
Go away. Okay, that's a nice one to end on, I think. I like that. I feel good. Like, when I help someone get a bit closer to purpose, I feel good, because it's like, there's more good shit in the world. You know what I mean? Like, you probably feel good just watching that, right? You feel good watching that? It's like, yeah, right? Like, there's a little bit of the world that's going to be better, even if it's just a few losers in Belgium this week or something, and then next week it's a few hundred and blah, blah, blah. Yeah? Okay? Just imagining all these little Belgian porn boys with their computer games. Great. Okay. So for me, it's like, look at everyone on the screen. Go to gallery view. Oh, and turn your phones on as well if you haven't done that already. Bet most of you have, you cheating bastards. So if you use the strengths that your friends are telling you have, there'll be some cruel, jokey ones on there. So you filter those out, group the rest. It can take about half an hour to group the rest. If you use the strengths that you had that are coming in, that your friends are telling you, right? And you use that to do something uniquely good in the world. So it doesn't have to be ending hunger in Africa. You've got a different battle. He's got his own battle, right? That's not my one. That's not my market. I don't work with those people. My market's different. Yeah. It's like, if everyone on the screen that you can see was doing something equally cool, like Virginia's doing her thing with the Greeks, Ola's doing her thing, however that pans out with like the depth, but not therapy, you know, she's maybe a bit more, you know, she's not quite as articulated yet as well, but she's got a little bit further to go. That's okay. She got a bit closer. Yeah. If Vanessa's doing something, Seeger's doing something, Wendy's doing something, if everyone here was doing something that was a bit close to their purpose, they'd be happier and the world would be a better place. Yes or no? Am I full of shit? I can be full of shit. So tell me if I'm full of shit. Yeah, I know I can speak some bullshit. So no, cynicism aside, fuck your cynicism. Cynicism aside, if everyone on this call was a little bit closer to purpose and contributing in the world, what would that be like? I think it'd be good. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm naive. Okay, we're moving towards wrap up here. We'll probably finish in a few minutes, a little bit early. Any final things before we wrap up? There is a YouTube channel that has loads of free videos on this. The product that I've made about life purpose won't be available probably till January, but we'll send you an email in January saying, hey, you signed up for a workshop. Jamie Cato's got a good book on life purpose. There's a good book called Screw Work, Let's Play on life purpose. What else do I like? Just going to my bookshelf here, guys. Excuse me. Where is my life purpose section? Yeah, I don't like many books, actually. They're the only ones I can recommend for now. If you know any others, put them on in the chat. Loads of free videos on my YouTube channel. Some good purpose coaches. If you want a purpose coach, I have no time at all, but I have some colleagues who do. If you want some purpose coaching, some people I've trained. Thank you. You're welcome, Yoga with Tanya team. Can I see you? Where are you? This has been good, guys. I really appreciate you dived in. Been extra yang today, so I hope no one's brutalized. If the death meditation leaves you with things, please, you know, be gentle with yourselves after this. Yeah, if you're feeling despair is a gift. Despair is great, okay? You're hitting rock bottom. Let it burn. Feel the despair. Don't run away. Don't kill yourself, okay? Feel the despair. Sit with the despair. Despair is your best fucking friend when it comes to life purpose. You know who never finds life purpose? The people who are mildly unhappy and deal with it, okay? Sometimes coaches come to me and they're like, oh, I'm a bit miserable. I'm like, come back to me when you're really miserable, motherfucker. Yeah? Come back to me when you're divorced. Come back to me when you're obese. Come back to me when you're porn addicted. Then talk to me. Yeah? It's like, if you're in despair, that's not a bad place to be. And if you're resourced, that's great. If you're thinking about this stuff when you're resourced and you've got a bit of money and a bit of time or a few friends or a few good books on your shelf to read about this, great. That's a privilege. You know, my great granddad in Ireland did not have this fucking privilege. I don't even think my dad had it really. Okay, if you have the privilege to actually the space and the energy and the time to actually work on this stuff, and you know, also it's a first world problem, right? We're not starving to death in this Sudan. You know, if it's like, oh, I don't have my life purpose, but you know, I just had a good meal and my job's kind of okay, and you know, no one beats me up every day. It's like, it's kind of shut the fuck up time, isn't it? Really, it's a first world issue to have. Cool. Final thoughts, final questions. How was this workshop in one word? Please put it in the chat. Or one takeaway that you want to remember, something I said that you thought, oh, I'll write that down. I'll have that printed on a t-shirt. I'll have that as a tattoo. I've yet to see someone with a Mark Walsh tattoo. That might be a bit disturbing. Culture doesn't support you finding purpose, remember. So you do need to find friends and coaches and books and things that can help you. Insightful, thought-provoking, empowering, always energizing. Sacrifice, yes, sacrifice is good. It's kind of an old-fashioned word, but well worth understanding. Energizing, proud of Western values. Yes, it's okay. France has a noble history. Yes, a lot of guillotining, admittedly, but a beautiful, beautiful history. You invented freedom. The Americans stole the idea. It's a French idea, kind of British, Anglo-French idea, really. By the Greeks. Arabs helped. You know, there was a lot of people involved, but the French were one. Actually, it was interesting. It was Japan that made me realize this, because I was in Japan and people just were really proud of being Japanese, and they knew there were other cultures that were good, and they play American baseball, and you know, but they were just didn't have the shame of being Japanese. They were like, no, we have a noble culture, and yes, we've done some bad things, but you know, they were just. I was like, wow, I'd love to hear more of that in England. Yeah. Breathe and act while your heart is still beating. Can life purpose be two different things? Yes, it's not always neat. Okay, you could choose one as a career though. That might be smart. You can have two careers. Yeah, I spoke to someone today who had a PhD in maths from Cambridge. This is Rosie Sexton, look her up, ROSSI. PhD from maths in Cambridge. For 10 years, she was a mathematician. Then she became a UFC cage fighter. Okay. And now she's running for the leadership of one of the major political parties in the UK. So basically every 10 years, she's done some like massively overachieving life ambition. So she did the intellectual, then her name is Rosie Sexton. If you don't believe me, you can look her up. She's got an MMA record and she's heading for the leadership of the Green Party. Yeah. So basically in 10-year blocks, she just got really amazing at one thing. You don't have to be an overachiever like Rosie. But when she does something, she like dedicates herself to it. You know, she gets obsessed with it. She just does it to the absolute max. This is a person that knows about passion. One of my, favorite female friends, I'd say. Definitely one of them. Good. Well, I hope I see you guys around. Some I'll see you at the Embodiment Conference. I've got nothing really to sell you today, okay, guys? So, you know, you can buy my book if you want. You can, there's a little bit on life purpose in there. You can, we'll have a package on life coaching. We're going to do a special coaching package next month. August, I'm mostly chilling. I'm in Russia and then on holiday in England after my Italian holiday got cancelled. Please don't send me long emails and messages because they're long and annoying and I'm busy. But do feel free to send me very short ones. Okay, I'll answer very short ones. Yeah. So I think that's all I have to say. Who's a podcast listener? Podcast people? Give us an iTunes review, you fuckers. Okay, that would be nice if you want to give us a little thank you for today. Or tell people about.
Are you running a marketing course at all?
We've got a marketing product coming out in December, which I spent 4 days filming. So we'll probably do some free stuff around then. I always do free stuff, but when I sell stuff, A, because it's good for my business, but B, it means that people that can't afford the thing can get the free stuff. So that will be about in December. You can also buy the recordings from the Embodiment shop. Let me put that up, which have got, yeah, there it is. Which have got recordings of all the different past stuff we've done. I'm doing a bit less free stuff in the next couple of months just because the conference is going to be insane. So yeah, it's a bit less of the normal free stuff. We'll do a bit more in probably a couple of little things in September. We'll do some stuff on coaching mostly in September. And then after the conference, we'll start doing some free things again. Just when I'm going to Israel for a month off to swim in the sea in November. So after that, probably December, there'll probably be some things happening. So yeah, I think they're the main ones. I've got nothing really to ask you guys. Just, yeah, nice little workshop. So thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you for helping me fulfill my life purpose. Worth getting up at 2 a.m. Moira. Oh, wow. Cool. Where's 2 a.m. now? Where's that? Hawaii or somewhere. Middle of Asia. Okay, go away now.
Bye.
And bye.
Bye. Unmute yourself and say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Go away. Come on. Bugger off.
Bye.